Okay, so I feel like I get a lot of people a little bit confused when it does come to route breakdowns. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down for you guys so I don't really have to again. So pretty much in the lawn care industry, obviously you have residential, you have commercial, right? I give a middle route called a hybrid route. So this is the difference between a lot of other people in the lawn care industry, which they don't really consider this a route and think of it this way. So pretty much I have a residential route. What is that? That's all residential houses, obviously. Commercial route, that's all commercial properties. Hybrid route is residential and commercial mixed together. And that sounds simple, but there's specific properties you have to go for. So you can sit there and basically try to close an apartment complex in the same route that you're closing houses in, but that's not efficient. The reason I have a specific hybrid route is because you're not mowing the commercial properties that a full commercial route would mow. So instead of you sitting and just thinking there's residential yards, commercial yards, I don't think it that way. I think there's residential yards, 100%, and I think there's pretty much three different levels when it does come to commercial. I don't think there's just one type of commercial property. You have a very starter commercial property, which is like maybe a gas station, maybe a small hotel, maybe a doctor's office. That's like a level one commercial. You have a level two commercial, which now you're getting into a little bit, maybe a bigger hotel. Hotels can be in a little bit more. Not doctor's offices usually aren't in level two. You may have a facility, like a nursing home facility. You may have a small plaza in the level two because these are a lot bigger. They're going to take up, like, you may only be able to do four of these in a day with a two-man route. Even when you put four guys, a lot of times in these level two, you can maybe only do six. So, say, now what's the level three commercial? Now we're talking about big apartment complex neighborhoods, HOAs, like big commercial contracts. And the reason I have them broken up, because in level three, when you're doing HOAs and big apartment complexes, it's not just mowing. It's a little bit different. You need a bit different business model to do level three. And this is what I consider true commercial. I think in a hybrid route, you can do residential level one and some level two commercials. In a full commercial route, you're pretty much only doing level two and level three. That's it. And the reason in a commercial route it's a little bit different than a hybrid, and the reason you can't do everything is because a commercial route, you're probably going to have all services included. You're going to have to be able to do tree service. You're going to have to be able to do fertilization, irrigation. You have to add all these services in level three. You can try to build a business where you're not actually doing everything and just delegating everything to subcontractors. But the easiest way to scale a level actual commercial route is going to be being able to do every single service. Not sitting there, not being able to do stuff and having to sub it out and the subcontractor messed up. I'm telling you, if you're going to grow a full commercial route, you need to be getting level two to level three, which is getting in the shopping plazas, like you're getting to smaller, bigger hotels or smaller plazas to big plazas, apartment complexes, and then HOAs. If you're doing that, you should probably get the revenue off of the irrigation, off of the fertilization. That is like one route of a level three or full-blown commercial route would be multiple trucks. It's not really just one truck, the maintenance crew. You're going to need that maintenance crew. You're probably going to have to do annual planting or biannual planting. You're going to have to do irrigation checks. You're going to have to do fertilization. You're going to have to add all this stuff in and get the money you're supposed to be getting in a commercial route. Or there's not really a point of doing it. But that's what people get confused when I say hybrid route. And what defines what's a hybrid route versus what's a commercial, like what properties does a hybrid route do versus commercial. Obviously you have residential and you have the entry level commercials before people start asking for that stuff, like they need you to have the fertilization, irrigation, all that stuff unlocked. And if you guys are wondering, that's what I do. So instead of me just building full residential routes, I build hybrid routes. I don't like full residential routes. I feel like there's too much actual people to deal with, and it's not worth it. I think a hybrid route is the most worth it route. And then if you're in the position to, then you go to commercial. But I think in the very beginning, you should be like banging out hybrid routes, which is like a 50-50 mix between level 1 and 2 commercials and residential yards. It's like a 50-50 mix. And I think that's the most overpowered business to scale in the very beginning.